How's it going, guys? It's your boy Chris here. In this quick video, I'm just going to go over the VLANs that I've created yesterday. So last night I created, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 VLANs. We have an AV VLAN, a guest Wi-Fi VLAN, phones VLAN, a printers VLAN, that's 4, security VLAN, users VLAN, and a WAP VLAN. So I have my printer right there. It is connected to the FortiSwitch on port 12. And what I did was I assigned that port 12 VLAN 55. So that is the printer VLAN. So if we go ahead and see, we can see here, printers, VLAN 55. That's the VLAN ID. We will also see the IP or net mask. So this is the IP address. This is a /27. We have ping and SNMP going on it. So that's that. I might want to do HTTPS or HTTP, but here, that is the FortiSwitch VLANs. If we go to networks and then we go to interfaces, we are brought to where I created those interfaces, those sub interfaces. So here's the printers sub interface right here, and we can see that it is under the FortiLink interface, which is on the internal interface of 7. So here 7 is there. FortiLink is going from 7 from the back to this port here, which is the FortiLink port. All the VLAN tags are going to go through this port up to port 7, and then that will allow network connectivity to all the other VLANs. So that is that. If we go to switch and we do the switch ports or FortiSwitch ports, we can see that we have all the different ports here. So I haven't assigned anything else yet. I'm still working on it, but we can see port 12 is up, and I have the native VLAN to printers. Allow VLAN is all, and we can see that there's a device discovered, right? Home printer. Let's double click. Let's see, can't double click it. Here's what we can do. We can go to user device inventory, and then we see that this says offline. I'm not sure why it says offline. It is actually up, and we're getting a IP address as well. So let's see. Let me click that. So we go here and click it. We can see the IP address 10.55.0.2. That is the first IP address that it picks up, and we can see. So let's say I copy that. Go to the interface here, xping, and then see. So it's online. I'm not sure why it says offline, but so what I did was just did an execute ping and the printer's IP address. So how it's getting that IP address? This is how it's getting that IP address. I've configured DHCP on that VLAN. So we go here. So we have printers, the VLAN ID 55. The role is a LAN interface, and here we can see where it's where I manually set it. So 10.55.0.1 is the gateway to the VLAN. I might want to put that in there too. And then we also have DHCP. I have a DHCP server running on it. So this is okay if you are creating like DNS reservations and host records and whatnot for the printers, then a DHCP wouldn't be a problem. However, there are standards where you want to make a printer, you want to give it a static IP address, right? So just by looking at the subnet, we can see, okay, you'll know the IPs in this range, right? So let's click in DHCP off. We don't need that, right? The next thing what we can do in this case, we will go to the printer and give it a static IP address. We'll just give it like 10.55.0.2, and then it'll work too as well, because you know we this in this case we're just statically setting it. However, we can also do this, right? So we can leave that back up. Let me just hit the OK button to save it. And what we can do here, we can actually go to user and devices, and then we can go to device inventory. Okay, see where we see it's online now. Not sure why. We can copy this MAC address here. Copy that. Okay, and it also tells you discovered device. We can do that. And then what we can do here, we can, let's see, okay, it's going to bring me to that interface, to that VLAN. And here, so under advanced, where the DHCP options are, we hit advanced, we can actually create a reservation for that device. So that the printer's MAC address I just copied, I can put that in there. Reserve IP, we get assign IP, we can do a block, we can do a reserve IP. Let's do reserve IP 10.55.0.2. Description, I gotta say home printer for now. Yeah, and then that is going to be reserved over the DHCP server. So once we do that, it will reserve it. So if we go back, and I want to say we go back to user devices and we do device inventory or line. Yeah, okay. See, so it's still that IP address, but we go to back to network interfaces, and we go back to that VLAN. No, I was just there, but you know, just navigating, and then we can see that in advance. Now we save it, we'll see it. It's reserved. All right. So this device is now reserved for that IP address where it says action reserve IP. So this printer will now have that IP address for as long as possible. Yeah, DHCP is running, but you don't run the risk of this printer changing its IP address now, because the firewall now has it where the FortiGate is keeping that MAC address tied to that IP address. It's gotten a reservation. And we can see, if we click add from DHCP client list, we can see this. Expire 5 days, whatever, right? So, I wonder what unknown MAC address is assigned IP. Oh, okay. So here we can do where it says like unknown MAC addresses. So if the system doesn't know the MAC address, we can assign it an IP address, or we can just block the device as a whole. Right now it's default to assign IP, but if for some reason like the device can't find the MAC address of, you know, the FortiGate can't find the MAC address of that device or that printer, you can do it where you can just assign an IP, or so if you have an assigned IP, it'll just grab an IP address from the DHCP pool, right? However, if you do block, it'll just block the device as a whole. So that printer wouldn't be able to go online because the FortiGate doesn't know the MAC address of that printer. It can't find it. I'm also going to access VLAN as well, because that's an access VLAN. All right, cool. And then hit save. Now, because I made these configurations, I'm actually running FortiManager actually. So I want to, and what's cool is too, you can actually import that template and get all your VLANs from the FortiGate onto this, but haven't done that yet. However, we can see if we go to dashboard and then we go to the FortiGate, we'll see modified, right? Config status modified. If we go up here and click on firewalls, I created a device group. So everything under this firewalls group is going to be all the FortiGates. So we can see it's been modified recently. So what we can do is we can just go here, right, and retrieve the configs. So usually I would do like the VLAN stuff from FortiManager, and then you won't have to do that because if you don't retrieve configs after making changes on the actual FortiGate, the FortiManager is going to have issues. It's going to be like, there's a conflict going on. I have these configs, however, and this is when you're trying to push configurations. It's going to tell you there's a conflict between the FortiGate and me. In FortiManager's terms, I have these configs I want to push, but these configurations don't match with what I had before on the FortiGate. So it's like, let's retrieve what the FortiGate has, then come back to me, and then I can push it and keep the FortiGate updated. So that's that. So we go back and we hit close, and that's it. So now we go back to FortiGate. It hasn't changed nothing. Everything is still working perfectly fine. I can SSH into the FortiGate using FortiManager. Whoops. Here we go. And then we'll do that same command, execute. I'll just type the full command out for you. Execute ping, and it's 10.55.0.2. We can ping that printer, so it's up on the network. Now the next thing what I'll do is I'll just start assigning other ports like user ports, right? So if I wanted to connect my Raspberry Pi to one of these ports, it can be like a management port, probably somewhere up here. This PC can be right here, or my other, I wouldn't do my other PC because FortiManager is actually running on this machine. So I have FortiManager and FortiAnalyzer VMs, the trial versions, but they're VMs running on this machine. I have it where I can access it over the network on a different computer. So that's that. So yeah, this is VLANs, how to assign them, how to configure them, how to push configs from FortiManager to to the FortiGate, how to do it on the FortiGate. Yeah, so that's it.